This viral watermelon tool has been all over the internet, but does it actually work? Today, I'm going to find out alongside 4 other quirky kitchen gadgets you might not have seen before. Yep, so welcome to another kitchen gadget haul, part of a massive playlist. Do check it out at the end of this video if you wish. It goes on for blooming hours. And also, before commenting down below, please consider that some of these kitchen gadgets can help people with certain disadvantages in the kitchen. And actually, by the end of today's video, I might even put watermelon in a burger. All right, our first one today is this. It's called the Capoff. And if the title didn't give it away, it's quite self-explanatory. From the image there, it helps you to get a cap off. Other than the brand, the only other text on it, which I absolutely love, can you see that there? It literally says, "You will like it." Trademark, so I don't know if that's their catchphrase. I will find you, and you will like it. So it's a screw cap opener for cartons and bottles with plastic screw caps. Fits most cap sizes, so I've got a few. I think it's generally designed for these, and if you're wondering, you do get those ones that have got that angled slant with the cap around about here. It's exactly the same size of that. Oh, wow, it's like scissors. I couldn't tell from the packaging that well, but you do get a fair bit. It's extremely light. A fair bit of leverage there to open up. I think that's actually quite a small cap there. And there is, I don't know if you can see in there, some like little ridges where it's gonna give it some friction, some bite to kind of, well, correspond with the ridges, that's what we're gonna call it, on the cap. So this actually should work. Put it in here. Ooh, nice. So the ridges have linked up, the ridges inside the Capoff. What can we call that thing that gets caps off? And the actual point here that we control has bitten in to one of the grooves. So hopefully, oh my word, that is actually genius. Hardly any effort whatsoever on that. That's worked a charm. And for some people that struggle with that, that might be quite good. It's just like that added leverage doing it there. It just swung open. Now, I personally bought tomato juice for your viewing pleasure because I can't stand it. I mean, it smells, and looks literally like tomato sauce, like you should put with your spaghetti. Oh. All right, you see loads of these things around at the moment, like turmeric shots and ginger shots and all that kind of stuff. A much smaller cap, this one, but let's get it on there. So I'm lining up the grooves. Let's just sort of steadying it. Get that. You do need, because you can, you can like walk around with it, but like you do need another hand to steady it. Okay, that is, yeah, that's better. That's got a little bit more rungs on it, so it would take a bit more turning, but it still did it. Oh. All right, so this is the biggest cap of all, some peach juice. I've never ever had peach juice, and I love peaches. I don't have enough of them. So this goes on there. Oh, nice fit. And I think this is just literally gonna bite a little bit. Alrighty. Turn. Oh, okay. I've got to say, you do still need to give it a bit more welly on the bottle ones. For some reason on the carton, the thread seems smaller. Oh, that's blooming gorgeous. I've just signed that. I always give my gadgets away to a lucky patron each month. And I'm actually really impressed with that. Next one. All right, so this next thing, which looks bizarrely like one of my silicone baking mats. Oh my word, that needs a wash. Look at it. Oh, there's two, brilliant. This is a silicone loaf tin liner. So if you've ever made bread in a loaf tin, which hopefully you have, you can line it with baking parchment, but most of the time you don't line it, and popping it out is generally okay. However, this is supposed to help with it, although I don't know if it's actually gonna fit in my loaf tin. So let's see if we loaf it or hate it. Now, I've got 2 loaf tins here. This one's a very small one. We tend to use this one a lot more for like banana breads and things as well. It's like double the capacity, and probably a standard one. You can get bigger ones than this, but generally in the shops, this is your average size. So we've just got to see how, I assume, does it just drop in and you lift these up? It's so sticky. Oh my word, actually the fact that it is so sticky, I've not lined that up perfectly, but that's actually, it's giving my loaf pan wings. Yeah, so you end up with these like massive, overly excessive flaps of silicone on the tray to really give you some lift out of there. And other than like the little gaps here in between in each corner, like there, it's flush, it's sticking to it well, it's not creased. Well, I've got 2, I might as well try it with the other tin. Yeah, that is working, but just like they need to do a smaller size for smaller tins. because it is creasing in the corners. Actually, really impressed by that. It needs a blooming good old wash. It's got some dust on it from the factory, so let me sort that out. I mean, you might not get as much coverage as I put down this really cool looking bread dough. Yeah, with it being a bigger tin, the corners might not fill fully, but if you've got that leverage in the middle and the sides to get it out, it should really help it. So that dough needs to rest again. Lovely. Can I? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna let this rise and we'll move on to the next gadget. All right, so whilst that dough proves in the tin, this next one is, well, quite an interesting looking thing. It looks like an entrance for an architecture contest. But if I just take this off, look, there's some spikes there and it's slightly sunken, almost like a soap tray. Now, if you're not sure what a Hasselback potato is, I haven't done one on the channel for quite a while, but they're really fun. It's actually quite a really cool way of stuffing a potato with fillings because you slice a potato almost down to the bottom part. So this sunken area and those spikes are designed to hold the potato in place and prevent you from chopping all the way to the bottom, and also even slices too. Now, there's a budget version of doing that using chopsticks. There's actually an even cheaper kitchen gadget, which is more like a hair clip like this, where you just clasp it. It was more for a tomato. Yeah, it's quite an angry looking thing, but it could be quite fun. So we're going to do a mini version of Will It Hasselback. Like on the ends particularly, it's not perfectly spaced, but as the knife comes down to the bottom, right down here, there is a fairly even distance between it. And of course, when you are Hasselbacking something, at least it's got that spacing for you, you're not sort of guessing. So let's get a spud, which should sit in there nicely. Oh, yes. And actually, to be fair, even you could just do it like this without sliding this thing onto it. It's like this lovely housing. I would say there is this initial thing right now where I don't know where I want to put my hands, because I feel like I still want to like hold it in place a little bit. But, oh my word. Oh no, the metal thing is moving slightly, but that is it. I mean, we could lift it up slightly and take it to the edges a tiny bit, but I'm going to be happy with that actually. A little bit of moisture there. Look, that is all the way down there, but still linked together and strong. All right, for my sanity, I just washed a new potato and it does just pierce. Oh my gosh. But as you can see, look, it's all joined together on the bottom. And as you bake these, they open up and you can fill it with different ingredients and things. Did I miss a gap? I did. Oh no. We'll roast those up. Let's try a courgette. Is that gonna stick down? Yes, it is just about. All right. Yeah, this is a bit further. Oh no. Let's go in a bit further. Okay. I have no idea how that did all the way through. Science. Maybe I will take the other end off. Look, you've got this solid end there that just wants to hang, but it is still joined. I think we'll take that off, yeah. But look, you've got these little courgette coins. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Hello, I'm a courgette. I'm going to try a carrot. Can we Hasselback a carrot? Should you Hasselback a carrot? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't like those initial first bits. And as the sunken bit disappears, it does become more of a chopping board, of course. But we rip that off, look. Oh, it's all snapping off, but I have actually Hasselbacked. We've got two little Hasselback carrots there. Can we do a tomato? Oh my word. Okay, it's a little bit of fun so far, but for its primary use, let's just go back to this. Look. I think that's really impressive. But like, if we just get a little bit of oil, we'll get some pepper in there, let it fall in the gaps. And you can just like play around with this. Obviously, I'm not gonna go too crazy, but I will just stuff perhaps the big potato. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna put cheese in most of it. I'll see you in a minute. Let me tell you, that took a blooming long time. So I started doing like one or two. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. So I've stuffed as much cheese as I can. Look at the carrot. That is crazy. We have Hasselbacked, the courgette snapped into two bits. We've got one solitary piece there, but it's quite good. But you don't need to do that. With those cuts already in place, if you don't put the cheese in, just seasoning it, it does naturally open anyway. So let's get them in the oven. We could invent something new here, the Hasselback tomato. Oh, wow. It sounds a bit angry, but whilst it cools down, I'm gonna shove the bread in. I actually really like what's happened to the carrots. The cheese has sort of fused it and pulled it back together, whereas like the potato, for example, you can see some of the bits that didn't have the cheese in. There was one or two gaps that didn't, and they've actually opened up anyway. The courgette looks pretty good. I'd say the tomato is probably the worst. Yeah, the tomato's sort of been like dehydrated slightly. One half has stayed there. The rest looks like it's just dried out and just gone bleh. We need to remember that the core reason for this gadget is to help Hasselback potatoes, which of course it has done. Don't have to do this random stuff. Carrot. Yeah, that works really well. Pick up some courgette. Oh, it's roasted. Okay. The tomato is like a massive puddle of cheese sat in it. Oh, that's hot. And of course a potato where every slice ends up getting sort of lightly charred each side and crispy. Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if there's a much bigger video version of Will It Hasselback, but everything I tried there really, really worked, and ultimately that works a charm. Nice one. And this thing seems to be working really well. The only downside is the side has actually flapped up, so I can just about see a little pocket here to look through, and it is definitely baking well. It's just a bit annoying that those 4 sides that are going to help us get it out kind of prevent you seeing what's going on. Oh, yes. Oh, that's interesting. If I just tilt it this way, it's almost like one half of it is darker than the other, where these have been protecting it. Yeah, this was the side facing the glass that we could see from the outside. So where it was like blowing like this, the heat that comes over the top where this was moving so much and partially covering it, it's only slight, but there is a line of colour there where it's more prioritised. In fact, it's flapping over now, the further into the oven it was. Oh, excuse you. Well, let's give this a try. Oh no, is it stuck? Come on. Oh, there we go. Is it? Yes. Oh, those corners. You can see one there. 3 of those corners that were exposed have literally latched onto the tin. But you can't deny we've lifted that out fairly easy other than the corners. I mean, you are left actually cosmetically with torn corners. It's like a cat scratched it or something. It should. Whoa. Yeah. Comes off there really easy. That is actually pretty decent. I think it's just annoying that it came in a set of 2 and they were both the same size. Like, this would definitely work on a bigger tin. Bit worried about those corners too, but like a smaller one for smaller loaf tins would be, well, perfect. All right, so next up is this viral watermelon tool that I've been seeing everywhere. You guys have tagged me in it, so I got a hold of one. In fact, the one I've ordered randomly has just got a 1-star review. You know how you get a spork? You know, like a spoon and a fork hybrid? Well, this is like a blade and a fork, so maybe like a blork or a shovel and a fork, which would be a shork. Oh my gosh, that does feel cheap and tacky, but basically this is designed, well, the fork is self-explanatory, but this is supposed to be a blade, though that's literally just a rounded piece of metal. But watermelon, come on, it's so tender. But it's to cut through the watermelon to give you nice segmented portions. That's pretty much it. I think I'd quite like to have a tool like that and then just get a separate fork, because it does feel a little bit like, whoa. But let's give it a go. I'm actually going to use my bread knife to cut through the melon. I find it easier. Oh, yes. Do you know what? I like the look of watermelon more than the taste of it. For me, I get it. It's nice and refreshing. So apparently this is what we do. We plunge it in. Oh my gosh, that's splattered everywhere. Drag it across. Ooh, hello, mushy. Ugh. Okay. I mean, I cannot deny that has segmented it. Wow. I don't know if it's gonna do any more. Ugh. Oh, come on. There you go. All right. You've got to make sure you pull it all the way to the top. I think I might be able to get one more decent run along here. Oh, it just keeps wanting to spin everywhere. Hold it, Barry. Hold it. Come on. Okay. This watermelon's really mushy. Oh. Plunge that in and go across the other way. Brilliant. Oh, wow. Okay. I can see what's happening now. By going across the other way. Ah, that went through brilliantly. Okay. One more maybe? So we've done our cutting and shoveling with our shork. We can turn it around the other way now and literally just go like that and have, ooh. Oh, that's good. I actually really like that. And you could go across again to actually get like slightly smaller portions, but depends on the size of the melon. I've got another half. Oh gosh. This isn't the best watermelon. It's a bit mushy. And to keep it steady, I am going to try and cut just a slightly flatter edge for it to sit on. But this bit here, it's really, ooh. I'm gonna avoid that side because it looks horrendous. But if I go that way, I can get right down to the bottom. Oh, it's spraying everywhere, ugh. Oh gosh. Am I getting on the lens? Yes, I did. This will be eaten. The girls absolutely love watermelon. I'm just going to have to put it into a bowl to disguise it for them. In fact, one thing it does suggest you can do is once you've scraped it like that, you can basically turn it all out, which now we've got it like this. Okay, go back that way. Ah, I see some more cubes falling out. Look at that. And then if you're not that bothered about the sizes, you can like really start to scrape it and just like dump random pieces of watermelon in it. I might call it there with that. Yeah, it's okay. You just end up spending... Oh, I really got to clean that lens. It's okay, but there are much better watermelon gadgets that I've reviewed before. Folks, I think this is the first time I've ever cut my finger on camera. That... I'll touch it with the other hand and I'm obviously going to go put a plaster on. Oh, it's the edges there. They're sharper than the blade is. That's one thing I've always been proud of. I don't think I've ever sort of like cut myself. I mean, that's more of a nick, right? But that is quite bad. Now I know why it's only 1 star. I mean, it did work. Ah, that stings. But we've got some watermelon to use up. I teased a watermelon burger earlier. Let's see if we can get a little bit of redemption with our last one today. This I found in a bargain bin for £4. A shop called Pro Cook is a stuffed burger press. Actually, Pro Cook and like Lakeland, they're kind of like similar kitchen gadgety shops in the UK. They're literally like 2 doors away from each other. It's like a turf war of like kitchen gadgets. So whenever I go and have a little look, I sort of go in both shops. They had loads of these left over. So let's have a look at it. We've got 3 parts to this by the looks of it. We've got like the handly bit. It's got open and close on it. Although, oh, wow, 4 parts. Oh, I see. So there's a base part and then this little plate here as well with ridges on. Yeah, okay, so they're calling this part is the base mold. This is the removable plate. It's this thing that is the large press, but when joined together with that and locked in, that becomes the indent press. Flashy. All right, so if you didn't know, I'm left-handed. So with the plaster being on the left hand, I'm doing this with my right hand. It's been washed and this feels a bit awkward. And it says to like partially fill it. So I'm just making sure the bottom is covered. There are some actual little holes there. Now, I have no idea why they're there, but they would be really cool for screwing it down for a countertop. Unfortunately, you do need to lift it up because the base plate is what pushes it up. Okay, so we take off the main press and have the indent press. Push that in. Ugh. This is quite fun. Ooh, that's not bad, but I need to put more in. You can see we've got a bit of an edge there. Come on. Oh yeah, that's better. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but that will do. So what I've got here is some cheese mix, like half an onion just diced. And then here is some of the tomato that we Hasselbacked earlier. So we're going for a stuffed tomato, cheese and onion burger. I think one thing I'm missing is like perhaps like a non-slip base on the bottom there because it does want to slip around. Nowhere near as the watermelon territory earlier. But there we go, that will do. That looks like it's pretty much encased. So it's now saying to reattach the indent here to there. Use the large press to press down and flatten the burger. Oh my gosh, I can't even press that down all the way. But hopefully it's flattened it. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Push up the base. So remember, there's that panel underneath. Oh my word. Turn that out. Does it have the lines on it? No, because see, the panel here has got those sort of stereotypical burger lines. There we go, look at that. That is completely encased in there. And that is really weighty as well. All right, so before I clean down, might as well make another one. And we played Will It Hasselback earlier. Well, now we can do Guess the Burger. I mean, ultimately, I'm probably going to end up taking a bite out of both of them. I am really intrigued to see if the ingredients stay in there, particularly the watermelon with the water in there. It might simmer out. But also, of course, what they taste like. I'm expecting them to shrink down. If anything crazy happens, I'll show you. If not, here's some burgers. I don't think there's going to be any prizes to work out which one is the cheesy one. Oh, and which one is the watermelon one? As you can see it poking out there, look at that. In fact, both of them started to sort of tear at first, and as they shrunk down, which you can see they have slightly, the gap that was opening, the cheese, onion and tomato one just kind of locked back together really, really well. Whereas this one, the watermelon took advantage to try and escape. Looks like it's got a tongue or something. Oh, nice. I could make a complete crazy Gadget-esque burger here using the bread as a sort of bun, but I want to taste those patties. Oh, come on. Where are you? Oh my gosh! Ah! Okay. You've got the gooey cheese there. All right. Oh, it's hiding in there as well. Okay, okay. Mmm. Oh, that's really nice. I was just thinking, why does that tomato taste so good? It's because it's already been roasted, isn't it? We put Hasselback tomato. That poor thing's been everywhere. Inside the burger, and I like that the onions aren't actually fried. I mean, you could do that too to drive more flavour in. But I like that there's a little bit of bite and crunch to it. That is really good. Oh, yes. Yes, yeah. I mean, that's really what I was looking more for. You see that? It's like a nice pocket of watermelon where it's just nestled in there. It's almost like most of the watermelon was happy and snug, sort of tucked in the middle there, but as it cooked, when the patty shrunk a little bit, some bits of it took the opportunity to escape, but it has dyed the meat. So let's try a watermelon burger. Oh. What? That bizarrely is not atrocious. It's kind of like a pineapple vibe. Like a warm, delicate, softened, obviously watery fruit. It's nowhere near as good. Maybe cheese would have gone well with it, or something more stubborn like the tomato or the onions as well. But it kind of worked. I don't think it's going to be the latest pineapple on pizza, but watermelon in a burger, they just want us to keep escaping like that. Is definitely a thing. But the Gadget, there were loads in their bargain bin, but from my experience, it's pretty darn awesome. Right then, might not come as any surprise, but the worst one today, in my opinion, was the Shork, although this was the cheapest model they did, so maybe one with a better grip would be safer. It was all right. There are just much better tools available, and even more that I've got to review. If you do see any cool kitchen gadgets, do continue to send me your links on your social media platform of choice. And my favourite, I'm not quite sure, I really liked the burger press. That worked, it was amazing. This thing, which really does look like some sort of cage now, was really fun. We perhaps had too much fun with it, but it's useful. And I feel like possibly we started with the best one, the Capoff. You will like it, remember it said that. I did like it. I think it was really useful. It worked on 3 different caps, probably some other different sizes, but they're the most common ones. It wasn't too expensive, and I'm sure if some of you guys 3D print, you could probably 3D print your own. But that is my favourite one today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the rest of the Gadget playlist if you wish. It goes on for blooming hours if you enjoyed this video. And of course, all the other videos on the channel, they will go on for years. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later. Bye. A massive thank you to anyone that supports the channel on Patreon, including the names on the screen right now. The running costs of a food channel are proper expensive in today's video, and indeed the entire channel would not be possible without your help. So thanks a bunch, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video.